I'm War Boss Bogo. My mission for the Great War is to study the tactics of our enemies, to note their strengths and identify their weaknesses. This time, I didn't have to travel far. I found 2 kill teams from 2 rival Ork war bands preparing to have a proper scrap over some Space Marine leftovers. The first team to arrive at the scene is made up entirely of boys led by a boss knob with a combi scorcher and a boss pole. They've got a rocket boy with heavy armor and a targeting thing, 2 sneaky little Gretchen, and the rest is just boys, either with big shooters or shooters and choppers, and one of them has a stick bomb. The second team, what's come to grab the goodies, is a team of Ork Kommandos led by a commando knob. And this team's got a lot of specialists. There's a sniper boy with a climbing rope, a burner boy with a sledgehammer, a boy with dynamite, a shooter boy with a chopper, and others. And finally, they got a bomb squig. As the teams prepare for the scrap, the boys set up all throughout their drop zone, mostly concealed and in cover. Not very orky if you ask me. The commandos then do the same in their drop zone, and it's no surprise that sneaky commando Gits is also mostly concealed and in cover. Both kill teams then set up their barricades. One of the commandos moves forward to perform some recon, while the boss knob stands by ready to change an order if necessary. The commando knob bravely announces his team's intention to secure the center of the battlefield, and then warns the enemy that his team plans to kill anyone that approaches the Space Marine goodies, while the enemy boss knob keeps all of his intentions secret for now. Both knobs then shout, "Daka Daka Daka!" encouraging their kill teams to take deadly aim. Heeding the Daka order, the commando rocket boy then blasts an enemy shooter boy, blowing him to bits and splashing shrapnel on the nearby grot, a boy, and the boss knob. The commandos then join in a mocking chorus.
Just a small town to work.
Now you can scoop them up with a fork.
The rocket boy then runs away to escape the vengeance of the enraged enemy. An Ork boy then runs and dashes into the church, close enough to possibly claim some of the Space Marine junk. And one of the commando boys moves and dashes to claim a different pile of Space Marine junk. Then another Ork boy jumps on the bandwagon and rushes up to claim a pile. The bomb squig then hops at full speed toward the church. Another Ork boy moves forward and then dashes up onto a ledge. The commando breacher boy then moves and dashes. While the enemy rocket boy hops over a wall and then dashes onto a ledge, remaining concealed. The commando sniper dashes back and spies one of the enemy Ork boys through the door of the church. And although the boy is trying to be sneaky, there's absolutely no cover between him and the cunning sniper. The sniper shoots him landing 5 hits. But the injured orc boy bravely insists that it's just a scratch. One of the orc boys then moves and dashes forward. The commando knob then motivates the nearby slitter boy and moves up toward the church. Another one of the boys then moves and dashes to claim a pile of junk. A commando shooter boy then rushes forward to find better cover. Another orc then moves forward, still in concealment. The commando burner boy then moves up toward the church. And helps claim another pile of junk. The boss knob then moves and dashes into cover behind the church. Using the motivation he gained from the commando knob, the slitter boy rushes toward the church, draws his throwing knives, and throws them through the door. Killing the previously injured orc. The two grots then move as a group to claim a pile of junk. Suddenly, the boss knob realizes he's made the same mistake his orc boy made earlier. And from far away, the commando sniper boy fires Overwatch through the church door, striking the boss knob for a minor wound. And then an orc boy moves and dashes forward near the cowering grots. At the end of the first turning point of this battle, both teams gain 1 victory point from controlling 2 or more of the piles of junk, and the commando orcs score an extra victory point for central control. At the start of turning point 2, the orc boy sees the initiative. The boss knob announces that he plans to rout the enemy, killing them near their own drop zone. And in response, the commandos announce that they're going to hold the line. Both leaders then shout, "Daka, Daka, Daka!" and finish off with a mighty "Whoa!" motivating their orcs to shoot deadly and fight deadly as well. The boss knob's rocket boy then climbs from the ledge to the top of the church tower. From his new vantage point, the rocket boy shoots at one of the concealed commandos. Blowing him to bits. The commando knob then motivates the nearby bomb squig and charges through the church to engage the enemy boss knob. The commando nub snips the boss nub with his power claw, inflicting grievous injury. And the boss nub, barely alive, lands a blow before the commando nub finishes him off with another deadly slash. In response, the nearby boy charges the commando nub. The combatants then engage in a brutal fight. Each one using every trick he knows to try to best his opponent. The charging orc boy lands a blow upon the commando nub. The commando nub then slashes back with his brutal power claw before the orc boy finishes off the commando nub with one final strike. And the orc boys revealed that one of their missions was Headhunter, earning them another 2 victory points. A commando then performs a dash, getting a clear shot at one of the enemy boys. And filling him full of holes. Before dashing back behind cover. An orc boy moves around a large container and blasts at a commando with his big shooter, but misses completely. The commando bum squig then charges into the church, snapping at the orc boy with his vicious jaws. The bum squig and the chopper boy engage in a savage fight. The bum squig bites the boy, causing a serious wound. But the smart chopper boy parries the squig's next attack and then finishes it off with 2 vicious hits. Outside the church, the commandos wait for a devastating explosion that never comes. Instead, the victorious chopper boy charges out of the church and engages the commando burner boy. The chopper boy hacks the commando, inflicting a serious wound, but the commando burner boy then parries what would have been a critical hit. The chopper boy then chops again, but the commando burner boy bashes twice with his sledgehammer, busting the boy's skull open. The commando slasher boy then puts his knife in his teeth and scales the wall to charge the enemy boy in the tower. Locked in a deadly grapple, the 2 combatants parry each other's blows before the slitter boy stabs his knife twice into the tower boy's gut, leaving the boy just barely alive. Back on the ground, a chopper boy charges around a container to engage a commando chopper boy. But the boy stumbles on his way in and is nearly slain by the chopper of his intended victim. The commando orc then finishes the job, striking with a critical hit and killing the chopper boy. The commando then moves to better protect a pile of junk. The Gretchen then move as a group, taking cover behind a barricade. But the commando burner boy moves right up to the sneaky grots and flames them, killing one and seriously wounding another. But then the orc boy on the nearby ledge fires down at the commando burner boy. Sending him to an early grave. The commando sniper then uses his climbing rope and shoots down at the wounded, cowering grot. Doing much more damage than was necessary to kill it in proper orc fashion. An orc shooter boy then fires Overwatch at a nearby commando. Barely sneaking around past his cover and inflicting a moderate wound. The commando rocket boy then runs to the church door and blast an unsuspecting orc boy. Injuring him. At the end of the second turning point, both kill teams control the same number of piles of junk, scoring each of them 1 victory point. But the Ork Kommandos also scored for central control, protect assets, and hold the line, scoring them another 3 victory points and moving them into the lead. Sensing victory within their grasp, the commandos seize the initiative. Then, with neither team revealing any more TacOps, the commandos call another war! And in response, the boys call Daka Daka Daka! One of the commandos then charges a nearby shooter boy. The 2 orcs exchange savage blows. But the shooter boy comes out on top. The victorious but wounded shooter boy then conceals himself near the pile of junk previously claimed by the commando. The commando rocket boy then fires through the church door at the orc boy inside, leaving the Ork boy no chance of survival. The Commando Rocket Boy then moves to claim the pile of junk. A shooter boy then jumps down from the ledge and blasts the Commando Rocket Boy for a moderate wound, injuring him but leaving him in control of the junk. Still struggling in the tower, the Commando Slitter Boy guts his opponent with 3 wicked stabs. The Slitter Boy then jumps down onto a ledge. A shooter boy then fires Overwatch at the wounded Commando Rocket Boy, but completely misses. The Commando Sniper then uses his climbing rope to rappel down to the ground and move to a position where he can shoot the wounded Ork boy. Easily killing him. A commando then scrambles across some pipes and moves to claim a pile of junk. At the end of the 3rd turning point, the Ork boys control only 1 pile of junk, which doesn't earn them any victory points. They did, however, earn 1 point for rout. The Commando Orks, on the other hand, earn 1 victory point for controlling 2 or more piles of junk, 1 victory point for controlling more piles of junk than the opponent, and 2 more victory points for controlling 2 piles of junk inside the enemy kill zone. The Ork Kommandos also score another point for hold the line, increasing their victory point total to 11. Sensing that the day's nearly won, the Commandos decide to think strategically and wait to see what the last remaining Ork boy does first. Neither kill team discloses any additional TacOps, but both kill teams shout, "Daka Daka Daka!" The last remaining Ork boy then moves to attack a different commando and shoots him, causing a serious wound. The Commando Daka boy then fires back. Sending the last Ork boy to meet Gork and Mork. With every enemy dispatched and firmly in control of all the Space Marine junk, the Ork Kommandos claim a decisive victory, earning another 4 victory points. So, in the end, the Ork Kommandos score a crushing victory with 15 victory points, while the Ork boys score only 5 victory points. Nonetheless, as the last Ork boy fell, he had this final comment to offer.
Orcs won!
And I suppose he's right, because orcs never lose. Now, if you benefited from this tactical study, don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, I'm War Boss Bogo.